It's it's very difficult to get enough nutrients on a vegan diet. In fact, not without fortification or supplementation. Particularly vitamin B12, iron can be difficult, not impossible. Calcium as well, it's possible, but you really have to know what you're doing. And long chain fatty acids like the EPAs and DHA. You can get omega-3s through plant sources, but they're not the long chain ones necessary for structure, etc. So the answer to that question is no, not on diet alone, not without supplementation or fortified foods for certain nutrients. In the long term, I wouldn't recommend a vegan diet. It can be helpful for a shorter time to give the digestive system a bit of a break. As long as there are lots of healthy, detoxifying, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory foods in there and not too many grains, it really is a question of the type of vegan foods that people are choosing. But in the long term, no, I wouldn't recommend it. The current trend in vegan, the choice of veganism is largely driven by ethics, and that's very valid. There is a lot of cruelty that goes on, and we need to address that. The problem is that from a health perspective, a lot of people turning to veganism aren't aware of the nutrient problem, and it can take some time before they'll become aware. B12, for example, is stored in the body for 3 to 5 years. So, and it's essential to blood, it's essential for neurological function, just taking one nutrient as an example. So it could be some time before people feel the effects. There have been some vegans that have had to then become non-vegans because of health issues. Before the Italian Parliament at the moment, I believe there's a push towards banning vegan diets for children because there are too many children becoming sick from people who don't understand the necessity to supplement certain nutrients. I think both. I hope there is a shift towards more awareness around the way animals are treated. Eggs is a classic example that we should not have hens living in those conditions. And so making choices around humane choices, ethical choices, organic, biodynamic, etc., which are healthier eggs, but importantly, they're respecting the care of the chickens. That's one example. Weight loss is achieved, it's a very individual thing, and it's achieved through having a balanced diet. It's different for everybody, and a vegan diet can be lots of fruit and vegetables and healthy foods, or it can be lots of still processed foods, or so it's really depending on the choices there. The weight loss is not through eliminating animal products. It's through choosing nutrient-dense foods, exercising, and making small changes that are sustainable rather than going on a diet that one ultimately comes off. Again, this is an individual. There are many causes for skin problems, and some of those can be nutrient deficiency. So it could actually be that deficiency in some nutrients. B12 is one, vitamin D is one, even though we get vitamin D from the sun, not everybody gets enough. So if they're not having the animal products, they may not be having enough vitamin D. And again, certainly those clean fruit, vegetables, that's helpful for clear skin. So again, it's an answer of it really depends, but in the long term, I wouldn't be recommending a vegan diet.